Hello. Today we are going to be learning about domain and range of continuous functions. You can find your guided notes on page 22 of your notes notebook. Recall that domain is the set of all x values. So what this means when we're looking at a graph is you want to look at it from left to right. Range is the set of all the y values. So that means you want to look at that graph from bottom to top. So to identify the domain and range of this graph, let's look at it from the left. Left to right, there's an arrow here that is going to the left. There's an arrow here going to the right. That means there are no restrictions. So looking at it left to right, it's going left forever into negative infinity. It's going right forever into positive infinity. So the domain is all real numbers. Then for our range, again, look at it from bottom to top. This arrow, it's going to the left, but it's also going down. So that's like the y values go down into negative infinity. This and that arrow is going to the right, but also up. So it's going up to positive infinity forever. So our range is also all real numbers. No restrictions on the left-hand side or right-hand side. No restrictions on the bottom or no stopping on the top either. It's continuing on forever. Looking at this domain here for this quadratic function. So look at it from left to right again. This arrow here, it's going down, but it's also going to the left slightly. And then this arrow over here going down as well, but also slightly to the right. So it continues to expand wider. This U shape expands wider and wider forever. So as we go to the left, it's approaching negative infinity. As we're going to the right, we're approaching positive infinity. So once again, there's no restriction on this left to right. These arrows are expanding both directions, left and right. Now, our range, however, is a little different because both of these arrows are pointing down. So when we look at it from bottom, there's no stopping it here. Both of these arrows are headed towards negative infinity. But as we look up, there's no arrow that's pointing up forever. This right here is the highest point on our graph. Right here, that's called the vertex. The y value there is 3. There is no other point higher than 3 on this graph. So our range, and then it's going down from there, is that the y values or f of x values are less than or equal to 3. Example 3, looking at it from left to right. So this arrow is going to the left, left and down. This arrow is going left and up. So as we move our way to the right, there's no arrow on this end. And that means it stops right here. So this x value of 3, there's nothing beyond that. So all of these x values that are on the graph we're to the left. We got 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -3. Those are all going to negative infinity or all values that are less than 3. So x is less than or equal to 3. Then when we think about it from bottom to top, this arrow is pointing down. This arrow is pointing up. So there's no restrictions on it vertically. So we're heading down towards negative infinity here, heading up towards positive infinity there. And so our range is all real numbers. In this one, domain, again, look at it from left to right. This leftmost point here is at -3, and the rightmost point is at +1. So to say that we have x values from -3 to +1, we write the smaller value first, -3 on the left, +1, the larger value on the right. X is in between that with our 2 less than or equal to signs. The range, now we're going to look at it from bottom to top. Our lowest point on this graph is -4, and the highest point is +4. So -4 is less than or equal to f of x, which is less than or equal to +4. All right, we don't have arrows here, so we got like a stopping point on the left and a stopping point on the right. So the leftmost point is -4, the rightmost point is -2, my bad, -1. I looked at the y value. So the x value here is -1 at that point. And then our range, the lowest point is -3, and the highest point is +1. So this is how we would state that, that the y values go from -3 to +1. All right, looking at this graph from left to right, we don't have an arrow on the left. It's stopping right here, x value of -4, continues to the right for forever. Got an arrow that's going right and up. So x values going on to positive infinity. So x values are greater than or equal to -4. And then looking at it from bottom to top, we do have a lowest point here at -2. All of the points from there on are above that and increasing. So f of x is greater than or equal to -2.